Here are 6 must-eat breakfast spots when you visit San Diego. Let me tell you why.
So before we get to the food, I go on food adventures all over the world, so make sure you are subbed so you don't miss one bite.
If you are in San Diego, you have to get Mexican food. Check out my other video on 4 must-eat spots for that. So it makes sense that first on our list is a breakfast burrito. Dos or Las Brasas, depending on where you look, is the no-frills local spot you want when looking for Mexican food in San Diego. So there are a bunch of breakfast burrito options, all on their homemade flour tortillas, but I went with their special breakfast, which has eggs, potatoes, cheese, and your choice of chorizo, ham, or bacon, and they recommended the bacon.
Dude, this looks unbelievable. Ooh, yeah. Still steaming, still hot, still absolutely loaded up. A fantastic tortilla. That has sort of been like what I've been finding here. The tortillas are just on a different level. And then a really great balance of like, not overstuffed, but everything in proportion. Getting everything in that one bite. Little fluffy eggs, crunchy, smoky, salty bacon, potatoes in there. You know, I always love potatoes. Little saltiness, meltiness, fattiness from the cheese also. Just like simple, straightforward, but perfect in that way. So good. Ooh.
Morning Glory feels wild when you walk in, and the menu is absolutely overwhelming. But this Michelin Bib Gourmand rated breakfast spot had my eyes and stomach big. Let's call it an eclectic menu. I started with what they're most well known for, their Japanese souffle pancakes with butter, uncut pure maple syrup, and I added on fresh berries.
Light and airy, exactly what I'm looking for. Sometimes things just have like a feel once you stick like a fork and knife in them. You're like, this is gonna be fucking good. Oh, steaming, so light. It's that great combination of super light, but also really dense, if that makes sense. Really custardy, not overly sweet, a fantastic texture. Dude, so good.
Then their Turkish eggs with a garlic herb Greek yogurt, poached eggs, roasted cherry tomatoes, a crunched chili garlic, dill, mint, and the comes with olive oil toasted bread.
Really nice and creamy, even though there's like lots of layers of fat in there. A nice little freshness coming through, and a little pop of heat in there also. Ooh, and a little sweetness on the tomatoes. It's a good bite.
And obviously, I'm getting the Japanese egg salad santo, which on the menu calls out its inspiration from 7-Eleven, my personal favorite konbini egg salad santo. Interesting that they chose to use Wonder Bread here.
You know if someone has an egg salad santo on the menu, and the menu says it's inspired by 7-Eleven, I gotta order that. The bread is a great texture. That's number one, the Japanese egg salad santo. I like how subtle the flavors are. I think that if you're gonna compare it to 7-Eleven, I think 2 little tiny things. This is great. Just let me say this. This is a great egg salad santo, but missing a tiny bit of that sweetness in there. And just like maybe it's a little bit too creamy. They have more of that like undercooked yolk in the middle also. So it's a touch over creamy for me, but great flavors. They told me, I can tell, this place is gonna be packed like brunch time, prime time. So I came here right when they opened the weekday, 8 a.m. Super quiet, super easy.
Great Maple has old school diner vibes with a very new school approach, and they do not skimp on portions. I started with their classic maple bacon donuts, which are made to order and drowned in a maple bacon glaze, which even has bacon fat mixed in, and it has bacon bits on top.
That's the perfect kind of balance for me, where it's all these little sweet notes hitting you, but then savory, 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 buttery dough, bacon, salty, fatty flavor bursting through, and just coats your tongue so nicely. The donut itself has a lot of flavor as well as everything on top of it. Okay, I have no idea how to actually attack this because this thing is fucking huge.
I was warned about the size of the brioche French toast logs, which has a hardwood maple smoked bacon syrup and more bacon, but was still not prepared for them to literally be the size of a log.
They said it was a French toast log. I should have taken them seriously. The French toast itself is like buttery and dense and really soft, and then you just get that punch of bacon and syrup, salty, sweet, buttery. That is good. I mean, it's like the equivalent of like the entire bread loaf, basically, turned into bigger than a bread loaf. I don't know, turned French toast, but goddamn.
And then to finish, their chilaquiles, which has fried corn tortillas, mix of eggs, chorizo, hatch chili salsa verde, queso fresco, piquillo peppers, onions, avo, cilantro, cherry tomatoes, and a cilantro sour cream.
Get a solid bite with everything in it. That is hearty. All these dishes fill you up. It feels, there's like a different part of your stomach that would be filled up by the chilaquiles rather than the sweet stuff. One, always love that extra crunch you're gonna get in there. That's why you have the tortilla chips in there. Nice warm spices from the chorizo and the chilies in there. And a cilantro sour cream on top. Oh, yes. And little pops of freshness coming through too. Okay, I'm into it. I can sit here and like contemplate what I've just put into my body because it is a lot of food, but it's all very delicious. It's a cold, rainy day here. This will make my body warm for sure.
Asa Bakery is this stunning Japanese bakery in San Diego, offering a ton of both sweet and savory Japanese treats. I really wanted their egg salad sanzo, but sadly that wasn't available till 11:30, so instead I got an iced matcha tea and 3 different bites to try. First, their special matcha cream croissant.
Oh. Super buttery, super flaky. What I really love about that matcha is that it's like a touch sweet, but then balanced really well. So just like those nice, subtle, earthy, herbal flavors coming through. That is excellent.
Never had this before, an everything mochi bagel.
Okay, so I'm breaking 2 of my rules, which is 1, ordering a bagel outside of New York. Generally don't want to do it. I like trying them, but I don't really want it. 2, I got it toasted, but for 2 reasons. 1, said it was a mochi bagel, and I was like, interesting. And because I was like unsure, I feel like a fresh New York City bagel should never be toasted. But if I'm outside of New York, I probably need to toast it. So it feels interesting. I don't know if I want to call this a bagel. It is not crusty. I mean, I guess like the mochi in it makes it super, super soft, which is nice. It's a great chew. It has nice flavor. I think I deem this, and it's like, like even on its own, it tastes really great. I just don't know if I want to categorize it as a bagel, but if we're gonna call it mochi bagel, and we're gonna say, hey, here's a subsect of bagels, I think I'm totally cool with that. Just, no distinction between the 2, but I'm into it.
And one last bite, their curry bun.
Really like deep, rich, beefy curry flavors coming through. Flaky outside, which is nice. Great chew with the curry in there also. Great.
Sunnyboy Biscuit Company has a menu full of all kinds of biscuits, savory and sweet, bringing a little bit of the South to San Diego. I wanted a little taste of it all, so I started with the Sunny Beef fried chicken, which piles between the biscuit, fried chicken, cheesy eggs, and maple syrup.
The biscuit itself is really buttery. Really great crunch in that chicken. Obviously, always love the addition of an egg and cheese too. And I really love that sweet component from the maple syrup. Fried chicken and syrup just go together, especially with biscuits. Great combo. I do think that I always want a little heat. When I get maple syrup and fried chicken, I always want a little heat in there, and there's hot sauce, so you could add heat. So that'd be my recommendation. And for as much stuff that's in there, as soaked in syrup as it is, the biscuits stay together, which is an accomplishment when you have that big of a sandwich.
And the biscuit brulee, which is a cinnamon biscuit swirl topped with seasonal fruit filling, peaches this time, and a maple whipped cream.
Oh my God. Now, I thought that was messy. This is messy. I can barely find a biscuit. I mean, it's layered and layered and layered with the cinnamon coming through in that bite, which is really nice. Obviously sweet, but I like the peaches in there, and the maple whipped cream is fantastic. For something that sort of screams sweetness, I don't think it's overly sweet, which I always appreciate. It's like candied peaches, so it's almost like a biscuit, a cinnamon roll, and a peach pie all in one. And because it's brulee, you get a little extra crunch texture in there too. But yeah, this is good.
With 3 locations in San Diego, Oscar's Mexican Seafood is a local favorite. Super chill vibes, and I love the massive selection of hot sauces, including homemade. Their breakfast burrito is loaded up with eggs, cheese, potatoes, avo, and then you can pick between smoked fish, bacon, ham, steak, or what I did, chorizo.
Oh, Mom. I love those warm chorizo flavors running through the entire bite with those creamy eggs, with the potato, with the avocado. Nice layers of fat, nice layers of heat. That is satisfying. And a real nice chew to the tortilla also. And it's not meant to be cut in half. I cut in half to show you guys. It would have stayed together better if I hadn't. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice a little bit just to make sure you guys see what I'm actually eating. Also like how crispy the chorizo got. And just like a little extra layer of crunch in there. Their tortillas are such a big difference. I don't think they make these tortillas here, but they just taste so much better. And I don't know why we can't get like good flour tortillas in New York City. If someone has answers, let me know.
So what San Diego spots did I miss? Let me know in the comments below. And if you made it this far, a sub would be great because I go on food adventures all over the world. And here are a few other San Diego spots I think you'd love.